Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy vicslanghope. I got another story time for y'all. Now, this story time is about when I had to step to the CO, man. I had to like indirectly threaten the CO, you know. And this was upstate in prison, and it was. I didn't know what was gonna happen. It was gonna get crazy. At the end of the day, like it was a tough situation. Like the police put their hands on a brother, and if y'all know anything about like the Islamic Brotherhood in prison, it's like kind of like very strong. It used to be stronger back in the days. It became weak over the years, but it's definitely strong. When you have like the right brothers around. So so let me get into the story. But before I get into the story, I appreciate everybody who's been tuning in, liking my videos, subscribing, sharing it. I appreciate y'all. So let me get into the story. I probably should like break down a lot of this story, but like before I get to the situation that happened in the month of Ramadan, before that I got into, excuse me, excuse me. So there was a situation that happened. So in the prison system, you kind of like have the Muslim community has like a hierarchy, right? Which is like you have what you call the Amir. Then you have like maybe like the security team. So you have like a group of brothers who kind of like run the community. So you have the Amir. The Amir is like in other words, it will be like that would be like the governor. Like in the countries, the Amir is usually like a governor. Um, or like the mayor, or like not the mayor, but like the person that's in charge of a certain region. Now, when you go to in prison, the Amir is usually like the leader of the community, right? Or they'll call him the Imam sometimes, but the Imam is usually somebody who comes from the outside. He's the civilian. But in some prisons, like they'll call like the Amir the Imam, because they believe like the Imam has to be somebody that's from amongst you, and like the person that comes to the jail to work, he's not from amongst you. He's a worker. Um, so anyway, the Amir is usually like the leader of the community, and then you have like security, the Wazir of Shurta, or Shurta, or whatever. Then you have like maybe like a librarian. You have like an oil person that deals with the finance or so forth, right? And then you usually have like a security team that kind of like deal with the issues. So after some time, like I started off as a librarian. I studied a lot. I was very studious. That was kind of like my thing, right? Like I was really into the books. I learned how to read Arabic. I memorized Quran. I did a lot of things. So I went from that, from being the a lot of times when people wanted to like ask certain questions, they would come to me. Like they would ask me like, oh, like are you familiar with this? Do you know where I can find this? Because I became the librarian after the old librarian left. And then as brothers started leaving, at some point there was a power struggle in the prison, right? There was a power struggle where this brother was leaving, and he tried to leave this other brother in charge. And mind you, the first few brothers that was already left in charge, they wasn't qualified to lead. So in Islam, there's a thing where it's like the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said the person who should be the leader, who should lead the community, is whoever knows the most Quran and the most Sunnah, and if they're equal in that, then it's whoever is the oldest. And if they're equal in that, no, at first it's whoever knows the most Quran, right? And if they're equal in that, then that's whoever knows the most Sunnah. And if they're equal in that, then it's whoever is the oldest in age. So that's the criteria to kind of like pick who's gonna be the imam. So the brother that was picked to lead the community, he wasn't the most versed in the Quran. He didn't know the most Quran. He also, so I was like, this is against the Sunnah. This is against like Islamic principles. So this is what I kind of like told him. And I said there was this other brother that knew more Quran, and I was like, he should be the leader. But the problem is he didn't want to lead. He was like, oh, I don't want it. I was like, you don't have no choice, brother. It's supposed to be you. You're supposed to be the leader. So this other brother that was left the position, that wasn't qualified for it, he made a big ruckus. He made a big like he said I was starting trouble. I was starting issues. Like he just did a whole bunch of stuff. Anyway, at the same time, the brother that had the qualifications to lead the community, he was kind of like, soft. I don't know if he was soft, but he just came off as soft. So a lot of the brothers that were part of like the security, they kind of like didn't want him to be the leader. A lot of these other brothers wanted me to be the leader. They felt like I had like, I knew Quran. I knew a lot of Quran too. I just didn't know more than this brother, but I knew a lot too. I knew a lot of the Sunnah. I knew a lot of like Islamic principles, and they felt like I had the character to kind of like lead the community. So these brothers kind of like wanted me to lead, and I was like, nah, like the brother gonna do it. But so even though I wasn't really like the leader, the brothers in the security team kind of like still viewed me like I was the leader, right? So I'm saying this is just context to the story. So boom. So one day during Ramadan, right? We chilling or whatever. And then we went back from Jumu'ah services. So we went back from the services. And this brother, he was the last one that was in the mosque, and he was with another brother from Yemen. So there was this African brother from Mali and then another brother from Yemen, and the guards allegedly they pulled the brother over from Mali, and they told the other brother to leave. Now, and it's one thing you don't do is leave your brother. Like that's something that you just do not do, right? And then yeah, so this dude left his brother, right? So whatever, I wasn't there, right? So allegedly the guards put their hands on him. They beat him up. Or they gave him like body blows. Sometimes they don't really hit you in the face because they don't want to, you know what I'm saying? They gotta explain that, right? So they gave him like, they told him to get on against the wall. They put his hands on the wall. And then I heard they gave him body blows, right? So he comes back and he tell us. So when he came back and told us, like the other brother from Yemen was like, he was kind of like laughing about it. And we was like, yo, bro, it's not funny, bro. Like you left the brother. Like, like it's a very serious thing. Like, and like, again, like I said this before, in some of my other videos, like when you upstate, it's a whole different ball game. Like you don't play games with the police. Like, like it's like you don't play games with the police, period. We call the CEOs police. So, but like it's a very serious situation. Like, and like the brotherhood, like we have to hold each other down. Like we all we got. Like, yeah. So it was kind of like, damn, like this dude was laughing. He took it as a joke, like, and he's from Yemen, so like. We like really was like looking at him crazy, like, bro, what's wrong with you? Why would you leave him? Why would you walk away? We was like real tight at him. So after that, like we was just pissed off. Like some of the brothers was like, man, pissed off. Like we was just like, but then the crazy thing is the imam that we had at the time, he was from Egypt. He had just started working in the facility because our old imam, he passed away. May Allah have mercy on him. And the old imam, he was really a brother. He was like a black brother from over here. And he went overseas. He had studied. And he was really for the brothers. Like you don't understand, man. When you're in the prison system, it's very hard for somebody to even like care or watch over you. Like, so he really cared about the brothers. Like, if he had to report something, he would report it. He was really there for us. So when we got this new dude, he kind of was like very for the administration. So anyway, we went to the imam, right? Before anything, right, we told him like, yo, the guards put their hands on him. We were trying to tell him so he could tell somebody, because at the end of the day, he could kind of like maneuver better than we could. At the end of the day, if we write a grievance, sometimes it don't make it to the right places, to the right people. So we told this dude, that we expected to have the interest of the brothers to go talk to somebody, and yo, he dead ass went to talk. He asked the police, and then the police told him that it was a lie. He came back and told the brother go apologize to the police, and then we was like, what? So at that point we was just like, all right, this dude is not for us. You know what I'm saying? He's not one of us. But it was this white brother, Abdul Kawi. You know what I'm saying? He's from like, I think he's from Cortland, New York, upstate. So I remember like, he was a white brother with a big beard, like short brother, but like he been fighting the police before, So he came from a max, and he was already like ready to put that work in. So like he came to me and he was like, yo, I'm ready to go, bro. Like he was just like, you know what, it is what it is. Like I'm like, he's like, nobody gotta do nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't gotta lose a lot of brothers. It don't gotta be no big thing. Like he was just like, yo, I'ma just take care of it. So I was like, nah, bro, just chill. Like, there's a few of us, you know what I'm saying? It was a few brothers ready to go. Like, it wasn't everybody. And then, so he asked the brother. So he asked the brother, like, yo, you wanna, the brother got his hands put on him. He was a young kid. He was like 19 years old. He actually was Hafidh al-Quran. He knew the whole Quran. So I used to kind of like study with him too. Like, So anyway, the brother, the white brother, Abdul Kawi, he asked the Muslim brother from Mali, he was like, yo, you good? Like, you want us to do something to this dude? Um, and the brother was like, nah, brother, just leave it alone. Like, let Allah take care of it. But he was tight. But like, this is just how furious people be like when the police feel like they could just do certain things, right? Especially to a Muslim. So he was like, nah, like, so boom, whatever. The everything, the conversation. We so-called had a conversation. So like now it's the brother and the imam talking to the police, and he's telling the police like, yo, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Then they try to tell us to go, but like a few brothers stood back. Like some of us was already like, it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like for the brotherhood, some of us was gonna go out. When you have problems with police, you see who's who. You see who's really about who really gonna go out and who not gonna go out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those gang members, they do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? They quick to oppress their own people, but when it comes to fighting the police, they not built like that. I'm not saying all of them. A lot of them. When it comes to fighting with them crackers that could possibly take your life up there in them mountains, a lot of those be scared. A lot of those ain't gonna do nothing. They quick to go cut their brother. They quick to go oppress their own. But when it comes to fighting them crackers, a lot of dudes be scared, man. So anyway, it's not just in the gangs, right? It's also in the Muslim community. It was a lot of brothers who didn't want no parts, didn't want no smoke. So a few of us stood back. Like, it was a few guards back. It was a few COs back. It was a few of us back. So we just lingered and we just waited. And they was like, yo, I gotta go ahead. But we ain't listening to them. We was just there like slow strolling and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we lingered just in case, like, you know what I'm saying, they try to get crazy. So after that, long story short, we went to the mess hall because it was time to eat. We eat at sundown. So we go back to the mess hall. When we go to the mess hall to eat and we preparing, like when we're preparing the food, I approach the CEO, one of the CEOs that put their hands on the brother. Like, at the end of the day, I felt like I didn't want, like, part of me was like, yo, like, this shit could blow out of proportion, right? Like, this shit could get crazy. I knew a lot of people wasn't really gonna do nothing. But I know it was a few brothers that was willing to go. Like, they was just, it is what it is. And I felt like people was looking at me like I was their leader, like, and I felt like people was looking at me, and I felt like I had to do something. Like, even if it wasn't like go over there and do something physical, I felt like I had to say something to that pig, like I had to do something. I had to say something. I couldn't just stay quiet, So I went up to the cop, right? And I was like, yo, yeah, like, I was like, did you talk to, because the imam told the brother go apologize. I told the brother, don't apologize. You better not apologize. So this dude still went over there and apologized, right? So I go up to the police and I'm like, yo, I said, yeah, did you get to talk to the brother? And he was like, oh yeah, I spoke to him. He came and apologized and everything. Yeah, everything was good. You know what I'm saying? We talked, and I was like, like, a lot of that stuff is unnecessary, man. I was like, like, I don't really know what happened. I just heard, like, y'all put your hands on a Muslim, and I was like, look, man, a lot of that stuff is unnecessary. At the end of the day, I was like, I'm pretty sure you want to go home. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, and we want to go home too. You know what I'm saying? We, at the end of the day, we want to go home to our families, And I was like, and like sometimes little things happen that just are unnecessary, and they could jeopardize a whole bunch of things, Because at the end of the day, I was like, you got people. I was like, you got people here who don't care. You got people here who never going home. You got people here who are going to protect their brother the same way that the officers are going to protect you. It's a brotherhood. And I was like, and sometimes when people don't know what really happened or what really went through, all some people gonna hear is, yo, they put their hands on a Muslim, and people lose their mind, So I came, but the first thing I told this man, I was like, yo, I know you want to go home. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just work here. Like, at the end of the day, we want to go home too. We don't want no problems, So I felt like the moment I said all those things to him, he was like, look, man, like, he was like, yo, I don't want no problem with the Muslims. I ain't gonna lie. When he said that shit to me, this cracker, this pig, that could have probably pulled the pin, that could have hit the distress signal, that could have just, cops could have just flooded the whole mess hall and beat me up, and he could have just said I threatened him, and they could have just wowed me out or whatever, and it would have been whatever it would have been, whatever brothers would have got in, or maybe brothers would have never got in. But I feel like the reputation of Muslims in state prison kind of like speaks for itself in a lot of places. So I feel like this dude, I don't know, man, God was with me or God put some type of fear in this man, but like he literally was like, yo, I don't want no problem with the Muslims. Like he was just like, it was a misunderstanding. He said, please, like, make sure you clear that up. Nah, that's word to everything, man. Like this man was literally like on some apologetic shit. Like, and I felt mad good. That was a victory. I felt mad good. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just like, I just felt like I had to say something. And he kind of was like, yo, please, like I'm telling you, man, like it's just a misunderstanding. Like, what I'm saying? Let everybody know. Like he was just like, let them know. Cause I came over there on some like good cop shit. You know what I'm saying? On some good friend shit. Like, and it was like an indirect threat. Like, yo, you want to go home? We want to go home too. Like, but we can't be having stuff like this, right? And he understood, and he was just like, yo, let him know I'm good, man. Like that was a misunderstanding. It's you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta worry about that. Cause I feel like it was disrespect. Like the same officer that put his hands on the brother, now they got you watching us. Mind you, there's only one officer that watches like all the Muslims eat, during Ramadan. So I was just like looking at this whole situation like, damn, they sent the same officer that kind of like was putting his hands on the bro. They sent him to watch us, right? Like it was just like, it was crazy. But yeah, but that's the story. I'm glad nothing got out of hand, but like that situation could have went so many ways. It could have went sideways. It could have just got crazy. And I ain't gonna lie, my heart was like, cause you don't know what's gonna happen. At the end of the day, he could have said, yo, all he had to do was pull the distress pin, and it would have been a wrap. They would just came in here. He would have been like, he threatened me, and so it was a courageous move. Excuse me. I got another story though. I got a crazy story where like, there's another crazy story where like one of the brothers got stabbed. It was crazy, like. So I'm gonna get to that on the next one though. But make sure y'all stay tuned. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, share if y'all like the content. Peace out.